No wonder this video is all of a sudden got very popular lately, because it's not. I wore the same shirt in the intros today. Well, not just today, this summer, this spring and summer. Okay, hello YouTube. Let's get to the main part of this video, basically. And looks like there's some Sunday work going on up here. So I'll tell you what, let's go inside. I'll talk about this bad dream I had last night. Actually, this is stay out here. It's more comfortable, so I can hear the birds chirping in the background and all that stuff. It's not windy today, so we're good. I am planning to remove this soon. Everybody else is removing these stickers off their apartment windows, so I think I'm just going to remove mine here eventually, so it looks better than that. So probably the last day you'll be looking at that. Okay, I did not sleep well last night. I kind of had a nightmare last night. Of course, it had something to do with last year's Amtrak trip. Well, why are you talking about last year's Amtrak trip about your nightmare? Well, as you know, there is YouTube videos out there where it can lead up to this. Basically, the nightmare was, even we are coming up to our 1-year anniversary of the Amtrak train ride, which that was a great video. If you have not checked it out, please do. It's on our popular uploads, so you can find it there quicker and that. So it's the Amtrak Southwest Chief, Galesburg to Flagstaff. Yeah, a lot of things did not go well on that train. And of course, there was a couple times that Angie and I did step off the train. Now, that was not the real nightmare, because those situations that we actually stepped off the train we had plenty of time. I mean, at least 30 minutes. That's more than enough. And I think Raton was about a 15-minute stop. That was the one I think I had the nightmare on, basically, because when in the video, prior to coming to Raton, I told Angie they're announcing a 15-minute stop. We got to do our 1 or 2 clips and get back on the train. That's it. We did that, okay? Now, this is where the nightmare began, because, you know, Angie off camera can get one of those mood swings and all that stuff. And sometimes, you know, we get a little arguments and all that stuff, and sometimes don't follow instructions. And this is always important when you ride especially Amtrak, especially all forms of Amtrak, overnight trains, quick commuter line trains. The commuter line trains, that's what they are to be, commuter lines. You're on the go. The overnight stays on the trains, they tend to stop. Some averages less than 5 minutes. Some can give you about a 15-minute stop, what they call smoke breaks. Like you step off the train, basically they just tell you to stay on the platform, stay near your train car as much as possible. Actually, you have to, because when that conductor yells all aboard, it's all aboard. Okay, reason I had this nightmare was technically was we heard the nightmare was basically you heard we ventured. It's like almost like, okay, let's say, come on, it's only 15 minutes to step inside the train station. What could go wrong? Yeah, plenty of things can go wrong, because you cannot hear the all aboard call, and you can barely hear. Sometimes you might even be lucky enough to hear the train whistle, but that's the train whistle they blow before they take off, and that. So our nightmare was that we were left stranded in Raton, New Mexico. That was my nightmare, and the worst things was. Some of the hotels was kind of on the shady side, and there's nowhere near to get a car rental. You have to purchase another train ticket. And I know it sounds funny, but, you know, to some people, this could be a real, true nightmare in real life. technically. But even I was sleeping, I dreamed about this. It was a nightmare. I think Angie kind of heard me babbling about it and that. But some reality, like I said, when it comes to Amtrak, what we did last year, and we're probably planning to do another one here in the future, don't know when. Just that short station stops are meant to be short station stops, and that is not meant to, you know, even if you made a good friend or saying goodbye to your relative before you move on to your next station. They say, I just got done watching one video trying to confirm this nightmare that could happen, where a lady got off at La Plata, was talking to a good friend, maybe a college classmate, saying goodbye and all this stuff. Then the train whistle took off. There was no all aboard call. Train whistle and train took off, and everybody knows La Plata, I think we mentioned it on our video. La Plata was designed to be a quick stop. No, it's not a smoke break stop. Platform was not big enough for it. If you saw in our past video, it was a very short platform, very quick stop. Basically, it's just drop off, pick up, go. As long as if we're stay on schedule. If we're ahead of schedule, we have to stop until we get back on schedule, basically. So that's basically the rules. And some places that we was not get off the train because what they did was they intentionally stop us in the middle of nowhere, so we cannot get off the train any way, shape, or form, basically, just to, on some of that stuff. But yeah, the nightmare was we were left stranded in Raton, New Mexico. But in all reality is we did make it to our final destination, and I just woke up and said, why am I having a dream that we got left behind in Raton, New Mexico, which that was a 10 to 15 minute stop. We was told, and you were told not to go in the train station, but we decided, you know, Angie wanted to do it. So she has to see inside because we were amazed about the building. Figured you gotta be amazed what's inside. But in reality is we never stood inside the train station. We just took video of the train station on the outside, the Raton sign on the big hill, and we was back on the train. I think we did that all in 5 minutes. I think we sat at the station for another 8 minutes before we took off. So we just did our video clip, got on, and that was the reality of it. We just got on, we took a couple video clips, a couple photos, and we was back on the train before you know it. And but the delay was, there was a lot of people getting off at the back at the end of the train and coach because a lot of Boy Scouts were getting off that got on at Galesburg at the time. They were all getting off there. So that's what enhanced the time of being, and of course we were at the time, we were running on time because we know what happened in Las Vegas, New Mexico. Yeah, that was also in our video too. But that could have been like I said, when it comes to bus travel, plane travel, train travel, they're on their schedule. They're on their own schedule. You have to be on their schedule. You can't make your own schedule because it's you. You have to follow their schedule. That's why they try to get you there on time if you follow their schedule and that. So hindsight 2020, always best to follow their schedules, because if you want your own schedule, it's called rent a car or use your own car and control your own destiny. Your destinations and all that stuff, and we did plenty of car travel too. Actually, this year we'll be going out to Las Vegas. We're traveling by car. I told Angie we're traveling 2 days solid, going out to Vegas, do our 4 or 5 nights in Vegas. Then we come home. We'll take 3 days, 2.5, 3 days coming home. We'll have a little bit more time, but the problem is, on the final day, we're gunning it for home, technically. Actually, something like that. But if you drive your own, you can do your own pace. But if you're on public transportation, let's say on Amtrak, train flight, if you're on a plane, you have to catch a connecting plane, the last thing you want to do is go have a sit-down restaurant or go to, oh, I got to have a drink, let's go to the Hope. Then all of a sudden your connecting flight is taking off without you. Yeah. So even it is a nightmare at times, and you know, if you guys are planning trips like this on Amtrak, plane, even buses, Greyhounds, and even mega buses, you have even charter buses that's known to leave passengers behind because they're on a schedule. Even charter buses is on a tight schedule. You know, they have to get to you to that event. Then on the way home, they have to try to get you home in a reasonable amount of time. So. So basically, like I said, the nightmare was basically we thought, okay, they gave us 10-15 minutes. They really meant, and we thought, you know, some people's mind, they really meant 30 minutes or longer. So, but when they tell you it's a 10-minute stop, and they tell you don't go too far away from the train, stay on the platform, stay near the train, or stay near someplace. If they're telling you to catch a connect, if you're catching a connecting flight, they say get to your next flight gate right away as soon as you land. Get to your next flight gate as possible, as soon as possible. You want to be there. Always arrive early as much as possible, especially if you're flying through airports, because you gotta go through their tight security. Amtrak doesn't really have that much security except on the train maybe, but always best to arrive early in case it is on time. Always best to arrive early in case it's on time. If it runs late, contact the train station as much as possible, but always be hanging around just in case if the time was false and that. So, but never get left stranded, and that's basically what it was. Okay, we'll in this video. I'll talk to Angie about it and see what her worst nightmare was. Mine was last night. Even we were coming up to 1 year anniversary of the Amtrak train ride. We were left stranded in Raton, New Mexico, and how to get the stuff off the train was like, okay, how we're gonna get from here to there, something like that. So that's basically a true nightmare. It could happen. Lucky for us, in reality, it did not happen. But why I relived it in a nightmare, it does happen, guys. Okay, we'll give Angie the final word, and we'll end this video. There she is.
Hello, YouTube.
Watching Amtrak, huh?
Yeah.
The last train station of that route, right?
Yes.
So if they got off and missed the train, didn't matter because that was the last stop, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Be back in a second. So, yeah, did I keep you awake last night of my little nightmare?
No.
No? I know I was mumbling about it last night.
I didn't even hear you.
Oh, you were out. I know I mumbled out loud about, come on, Angie, we gotta get on this effing train before we mess up our vacation. And that was my nightmare, basically. So,
Yep.
That was my bad dream. Luckily, that was last year. Things turned out, right? On that Raton stop.
Right.
Because I knew we had to get off the train to stretch our legs. And basically, that was the only time we got out of the train between Raton and Flagstaff, because we didn't take time at Albuquerque because we was in a diner car eating our dinner. And the time we got done with our dinner, that's when the train started moving again, basically. But yeah, Raton was a 10 to 15 minute stop. Was that correct? About 10 to 15 minute stop.
Yes.
And we just got off quickly. And I said all we had to do is just get a video let's get a video and picture of the train station at Raton, and let's get the video of the Raton sign on the hill, right? I almost called it the Hollywood sign, but it was a Hollywood style sign, but it was named Town for Raton. And we got back on the train okay. But why I had that nightmare last night is kind of funny, basically. That was it. If you guys had any dreams or nightmares, leave it down in the comments down below. Seems like Angie's busy on her cell phone.
I am. I'm watching 383.
383 at the final stop. So everybody gets off the train, they're off for good, right? So that's the final stop. That's in Quincy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well. At least they won't have a nightmare. Okay, we're just going to wrap up this video real quick here. Even though it is a nightmare, but it's a good tip, too, to give you guys. If you guys plan to travel, like I said earlier in this video, if you plan to take a bus like Greyhound or Megabus and all that, or even a charter bus, make sure you're back on that bus when they announce the time frame. So in other words, if they said to stop for 30 minutes, plan on your stop for be at least 25. Allow yourself 25 minutes so you have time to get back on the bus. Basically, we done that. We did a couple charter buses like that. That we had. They gave us 30 minutes, but then we had to get back on within 25 just to guarantee we're back on the bus. Otherwise, they was going to leave without us or something like that. Then if you're flying a plane, if you require connections, just make your connections. Don't worry about anything else until you get to your final destination. And for Amtrak, just basically, if you got ample time, if you got like 10 minutes to get out and stretch your legs, do it, but stay near your train car. Stay on the platform, stay near the train car. If it's like 30 minutes or longer, then just allow yourself at least a good 10 minutes to roam. But stay near your train. Do not go inside the train station or anything like that, even if it's like an hour stop. Because even if they run late, once they get the service done and engineers crew done and early, they'll just take off. Basically, they'll call it all aboard. They'll take off to try to make up some time. So. And Amtrak always makes good announcements. What you can get.
There's the train.
Yay, right there. Everybody's getting booted off on that one. And if they forget to back on, don't worry. That was the final stop, right?
Yep.
It was in Quincy. Okay, like I said, it was a good nightmare. Oh, I can't really say a good nightmare because this could have happened last year to us. Could have.
It could have.
It could have, yeah, it could have, but it didn't. Because you know why? We were smart enough to pay attention to
I remember when you had another nightmare.
What's that?
When you hit me in the back, at the back.
Oh, that was before we started YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I know you guys are going to say, Chuck, you must have had too much to drink that night. Yes, I did. I was trying to kill a bug that was not there. I know it was here. It's the end of the video. Since Angie's busy, I'll close out the video. Please like, share, subscribe. Don't forget the subscribe button and notification bell. We'll see you guys later.